Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
Yes, we're back, and stay tuned for the new Michael's Moment of the Night. And no, we haven't seen SummerSlam yet, so please, no spoilers.
Brock Lesnar's back. Naomi's pregnant.
No one wants to help Punk.
And who the hell is Mr. Iguana?
We open with the Visionary and gang, and after introducing Breakker, Reed, the owner of the Shula Fala, very good, and Rollins, Heyman hands the mic to the world champion. Seth, now I thought he was injured indefinitely, so how he's champ, I don't know, unless something's happened at SummerSlam, which we haven't yet seen. Anyway, Heyman hands the mic to Seth, and as he's about to speak, out through the crowd comes the Yeetmeister, Jey Uso. Jey says he's tired of all the talking and the Breakker is messing with the real one, and his name is Jey Uso. Seth then asks Bron if he heard what was just said about him, saying that Jey thinks he's better than him in all ways and that his family is a bunch of fat asses, which Jey never said. But anyway, this rows Breakker up, with Seth having to stop him from leaving the ring. Heyman then pipes up, saying men used to settle their grievances in the ring in a very specific type of match, not too far from where they are now, and then reeled off a list of ECW wrestlers. Jey understands what Heyman is referring to and replies that the only rules he needs tonight are extreme rules.
We head backstage and see Asuka offer an apology to IYO SKY after last week's fallout, which Sky accepts before heading out for her match against Raquel Rodriguez, who, of course, has Roxanne Perez with her. Rodriguez overpowers the diminutive Sky to begin with Sky then lining up a dive through the ropes, only to be tripped by Perez from outside the ring, allowing Rodriguez to down Sky once again with a big boot.
I did notice that they didn't have the women's tag belts. I don't know what's happened there. After the break, we see a missed corkscrew elbow from Raquel, which gets Sky back into the match with a missile drop kick from the top rope. Sky lines up a bullet train, but Rodriguez counters and then follows up with her corner corkscrew elbow and covers for two. A huge clothesline nets Rodriguez another two after a missed moonsault by Sky, with Sky then tornado DDTing Rodriguez, which sends her from the ring.
Sky learnt her lesson from last time, and before diving out the ring at Raquel, first dives out at Perez before re-entering the ring and diving out at Rodriguez. Rodriguez catches the flying Sky though and then tosses her into the ring post before getting in the ring and setting her up for a Tahana bomb. Sky counters, hits the bullet train and over the moonsault and covers for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Perez gets in the ring and with the help of Rodriguez rounds on Sky. This brings out help in the shape of Mommy, with Ripley and Sky then taking out the Judgment Day trash.
Backstage, Jackie Redmond asks LA Knight nothing as he interrupts her, but as he's about to get going, he's interrupted by CM Punk. Punk says that he, Knight and Jey need a little coercion, watching each other's backs. After tripping over his words, as per usual, Knight says there's only going to be one man holding his hand up at Clash in Paris, and that is him.
We see IYO SKY thank Ripley for helping out earlier, before the Kabuki Warriors arrive asking if she's okay. Asuka and Rhea then have a heated exchange with Sky telling them to stop fighting. Sky herself then goes off on one in Japanese before storming off. Asuka then tells Rhea to stay out of their business.
Next up, Xavier Woods against Penta, Kingston and Waller alongside, of course. Woods drops Penta on the ring apron just as we hit a break, and when we come back we find Woods still in control and covering for two. Penta fights back, sending Woods from the ring, and follows up with the crossbody to the outside with Big G taking the brunt. Back in the ring, we get to the corner headstand from Penta and a cover for two, with Woods then replying with his own cover for two.
Penta then counters the honour roll into a Penta driver and covers, but Kingston puts Woods' foot on the rope, which obviously breaks the count. Penta then takes out Kingston and Big G with his Rio Dorado before hitting Woods with a Mexican Destroyer and covering for the victory.
We then see a match made for Worlds Collide on September the 12th for the AAA Mega Championship between Vikingo and Dominic Mysterio, who coincidentally is out next with his Judgment Day buddies, JD McDonagh and Finn Bálor, as they have a tag team match against Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana. Bálor and JD control the opening until Lee catches a break and manages to tag in Mr. Iguana, who of course gets a rousing reaction from the crowd.
Bálor gets a 2 count after suplexing the Iguana before Mr. Iguana sends Bálor and JD from the ring and dives out after them with help from Dragon Lee. We come back from the break to see JD hit Lee with a Poison Rana, only for Lee to no-sell and drop JD with a Liger Bomb, a sit-down power bomb. Both men are wiped out at this point and tag in their respective partners.
Mr. Iguana uses the updated Mr. Socko, Leyezka, apologies if I've absolutely butchered that, to deal with Bálor, with Lee then coming in only to be covered for 2 by Bálor. Dirty Dom then grabs Lee's foot, allowing Bálor to shotgun dropkick him and land a coup de grace. Bálor then covers and picks up the win for the Judgment Day. After the match, the 3 Judgment Day members start to beat on Iguana Man and Lee, only for Vikingo to make the save. This is short-lived though, as Dom clocks him with his title and then lands a frog splash on the AAA champion.
Backstage, Jackie Redmond asks Becky Lynch why she attacked Natalya after her match last week, which of course isn't really answered, as is par for the course when answering a Redmond question. Lynch, in the end, claimed she was defending herself when she pushed Natalya.
We see Bayley next, sitting down talking to the camera when she hears her own inner voice and starts talking to it in a White Six kind of way. We even see a door with Ding Dong Hello on it open and see a darkened, cackling Bayley behind it. The voice Bayley hears tells her to listen before Bayley's able to shut it out and tells us she doesn't know what she needs. The screen then goes black with the voice returning and saying, "How about a hug?"
So, next up, Natalya wearing a chandelier with Dupree and Tozawa against Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Natalya manages to hurt her arm/shoulder on the ring post early on, which allows Lynch to target that body part at every opportunity. Natty does manage a 2 count after a discus clothesline, with the pair then swapping 2 count covers. Lynch eventually locks in the disarm her, with Natalya tapping out. Lynch leaves the move locked in after the bells rang, which brings in Dupree, who pushes Lynch off. Maxine then helps Natalya out the ring, only for Becky to push both women and lock in the disarm her on Dupree. This in turn brings out Nikki Bella, with the 2 then unloading on one another in the middle of the ring. Nikki wins out by dropping Lynch with the Rack Attack 2.0.
Backstage, Jackie Redmond tells Sheamus that things between him and Rusev are getting out of hand. Sheamus says Rusev didn't contemplate him when he came back to WWE, smashing everyone up. Rusev then appears, with the 2 having to be broken apart by backstagers. Adam Pearce then appears and makes a Donnybrook match for the pair at Clash in Paris.
After a break, we see Punk telling Jey that they need to work together and that he has his back in case he needs it later. Jey refuses the help, saying he doesn't want to owe anyone any favours.
Next up, we have Adam Pearce standing in the ring, who introduces Naomi, where she then joins in. Naomi asks the crowd to look at the Titantron, where we see a clip of her and her husband, Big Jim, on the Stephanie McMahon podcast, What's Your Story? I think it's a podcast, isn't it? I don't know, we don't listen to it. The pair announce that Naomi is pregnant before we go back to her in the ring. Pearce congratulates her, with Naomi firing back that she's not relinquishing the title and tells him to get out the ring.
Naomi tells the heifers in the back that they should be all thanking one person, Big Jim, because without him they wouldn't have a chance of taking the title off her. She adds the bloodline will continue, then lays the title down in the middle of the ring. Naomi vows she'll be back and warns whoever has the belt when she does return to proceed with caution.
I mean, that change of character was brilliant.
Yeah.
Obviously she's pregnant, yeah. Great, off you go. It's a shame. Hopefully that character will come when she does return, and we get that character because it
was good. It was
want to
getting
see
good,
more of that. Anyway, backstage we see the Judgment Day heading off when they wonder where Dom is. They then see him talking to El Grande Americano in Spanish before Grande heads off. Bálor asks what that was about, with Dom saying he's making sure the Judgment Day always stay on top and not to worry about it. The rest of the clan then head off, with Bálor looking quizzical.
Last match of the night, Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker in an Extreme Rules match. Jey came down with his shopping and then awaited the dog, who was accompanied by his handler, Paul Heyman. After exchanging words and punches, Jey sends Bron over the top rope and right into the shopping trolley, or cart for our American friends, with Breakker landing pretty heavily on it, shins first.
Jey then dug a table out from under the ring and set it up before getting back in the ring, sending Breakker to the outside again and diving after him. We then hit a break, come back and see the ring littered with chairs and Bron in control. Breakker then sets up 2 chairs back to back and drops Jey onto them before heading outside and leaping onto Jey from the apron with a trash can. Or that's rubbish bin for our English friends.
After yet another break, we find ourselves on the top rope with Breakker pulling off a Frankensteiner before covering for 2, with Jey then returning the favour and covering for 2 after spearing Bron. Jey then covered Breakker for another 2 after cheering him twice, a spear and Uso splash. Breakker didn't kick out though. Bronson Reed pulled the ref out the ring.
Reed then entered the ring and beat on Jey, hitting him with a Death Valley driver. This brought out LA Knight, who battered Reed, which in turn brought out Seth, who battered Knight. Seth then entered the ring, pedigreed Jey, and then exited again to get the ref back in. Before he had chance though, CM Punk made his way out and a beeline for Seth, with the 2 then going at it.
Seth escaped to the ring but didn't realise that Knight was behind him, which allowed the good guys to team up and unload on Seth. Knight then took out Reed on the outside before getting back on the apron, while Punk prepared Rollins for a nap. Only Seth escaped Punk's clutches and pushed him into Knight, which sent Knight crashing through the table that had been set up by Jey earlier.
Seth and Punk then fight off through the crowd as we head back to the ring to see Breakker setting up a table. Jey superkicks Breakker onto the table and then climbs the ropes, but Reed pushes him off and to the outside. Bron then slides out the ring and readies his super spear, but before he sets off, we hear the drums of the OTC's entrance music.
Breakker looks up the rampway waiting for Reigns to appear, but there's nothing, so he sets off for his super spear on Jey. Only halfway around the ring, Reigns meets him with a spear of his own and then Superman punches Reed. Reigns throws Bron back into the ring where Jey superkicks him back onto the table. Uso splashes him through the aforementioned table and then covers Breakker for the 1, 2, 3. Raw goes off the air with Reigns and Reed goading one another.
Now, you always knew this match was going to end in chaos.
Absolutely.
Which obviously it did.
Love it.
Obviously setting things up.
Yeah.
For Clash in Paris. But anyway, now for Michael's moment of the night. This is something new. It could be a match, it could be a line, it could be a look, it could be a promo. It's just anything that I find funny, interesting, quirky or different. Not always like, oh, this was a great match, or it could even be a move.
Yeah.
It could be something that catches my eye. Now obviously it has to wait until the end, because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler, but most people probably knows what happened anyway. For me, it was Bayley's voices and the fact she's talking to them and they are answering back. I love this. It's got to be a character change for her, a darker side, seemingly. Is she going to join the White Six? Don't, please, just do your own thing, because it has shades of it.
Yeah.
And especially when they arrive, just watch it. It's not like, it's only a few minutes, but she's there talking to the camera, then she hears these voices and she talks to them and they answer back, and then there's a little conversation. And as I say, the ding dong hello on the door opening, and Bayley's, she's in shadow, you can't see her, but you know it's her, and she cackles, say like, oh,
yeah,
this is going to be,
yeah,
hopefully this is going to be good. I like that. She did the hugger thing, then she got a bit nasty and a bit fed up with it.
Yeah.
Now I might see another reincarnation of her, But for me, Bayley's new promo, for me, was the moment of the night. Because you knew what was going to happen at the end. You knew everybody was going to come out in the Extreme Rules match.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it was Extreme Rules, so everybody could get involved. You knew what was coming.
Yeah.
That was predictable. But this Bayley thing, love it.
Any thoughts or views that you have on that you would like to share, please feel free to pop them in the comment section down below.
If you do watch, thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
And we'll see you Wednesday for a look at this past week in WWE, and Saturday when we take a look at SmackDown.